Good morning, everybody. So, today this is Balaji working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology in Nanda College of Technology. So, today we are going to discuss about the topic is planning process and its types, concepts, and steps. So, planning process. Planning is the process of setting objectives for a given period of formulating various courses of actions to achieve them and selecting the best possible alternatives from the various courses of actions available there. According to the applications, planning is a choice making activities based in its involving setting up objectives and deciding the appropriate courses of actions to achieve the objective. It must be remembered that plannings are always developed for a given period. So this is the diagram for planning process. Evaluating alternative courses, identifying alternative courses of action, developing planning premises, setting objectives, selecting alternatives, implementing planning, and follow-up actions. So what are the steps? So what do you know about planning? Planning is a process of setting objectives for the given period, formulating various courses of actions to achieve them, and select the best possible alternatives. It is a choice making alternative that defines the path forward. So, what are the steps? First step, setting objectives. The idea behind planning is to achieve desired objectives. Therefore, the first step is to clarify, define, and describe the objectives of the organization. Firstly, the major objective should be specified, and then they should be broken down into individuals, selections, and departmental objectives. The objectives serve as guidelines for discussion making in terms of resource allocations, work schedule, nature of works, etc. are kept in mind while setting objectives. All efforts must be made to anticipate the problems and relevant opportunities that are likely to arise in the futures. For example, an enterprise like ABC Limited is opening their new branch of laptops. First, they have to specify the objectives to sell 3,000 units this year, which is double the previous year's sales. For achieving this aim, they have to distribute their objectives into various departments such as productions, marketing, sales, finance departments, etc. By distributing the main objective into departmental objectives, the company will face fewer problems in managing its organization. Second step, developing planning premises. The next step is planning to establish estimate premises planning or the anticipated environments in which plants are operated. This include assumptions and forecasting the futures and knowing conditions that will affect the courses of an plan. So internal and external. Then second one is controllable and uncontrollable. The next one is forecasting. In short, this provides the environment and boundaries within which the plan will be executed. Planning premises may be classified into internal and external premises. Consider both internal and external factors. Controllable and semi-controllable and uncontrollable premises. Controllable, semi-controllable and uncontrollable premises. For example, ABC Limited company has set their objective to sell 3 lakh units of laptops this year. For this, they need to gather information by forecasting. As it is an important technique in developing premises, this enterprise has set this objective after forecasting the increase in demand for laptops due to work from their policies, home policies. An accurate forecast is very important for successful plans. The third step, identifying alternative course of action. How to identify the alternative course of actions? After setting the objectives and making assumptions about the future, the next step is to determine alternative course of actions through which the organization can achieve its objectives. In order to identify the various alternatives courses of actions, it is required to collect all necessary information from primary and secondary sources. This information collected must be correct and believable. The only information which is directly and statistically related to the achievement of the desired objective should be considerable. For every plan, there are several options. All the alternative courses of action should be identified. For example, ABC Limited should have an innovative way that can be adopted by involving employees and customers in sharing their own ideas. The company has many alternatives like decreasing price, increasing advertisement, promotions, etc. 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 In main important project, the enterprise generates more alternatives through discussion among the members of the organization. So the next topic, evaluating alternative courses. After identifying different alternatives, the next step is to evaluate each alternatives. Evaluation means the study of performance of various actions. All the possible alternatives should be evaluated keeping in mind their expected cost and benefits of the organization. Comparison among the alternatives should be made in terms of factors such as the risk involved, planning, premises, goals to be achieved, etc. The positive and negative point of each alternate must be thoroughly examined, and thereafter, planners should make a choice. For example, ABC Limited should evaluate all the possible alternatives and check their positive and negative points. The next step, selecting an alternative. After evaluating various alternatives, the next step is selecting the most suitable course of action. The basic, detailed, and derivative plans such as policies, rules, programs, and budgets should be formulated. This is because the derivative plan help in the implementation of the basic plan. Most of the plans may not always be subjected to mathematical analysis. In these cases, the subject and the management experience, judgment, and at time instead play an important role in setting the most suitable alternative. Many times, the combination of plans is also selected instead of selecting one best course. For example, ABC Limited will start a TV advertisement, online marketing, and direct contact with the MNC to increase sales, as selecting the most suitable alternative will increase the profit of the company. The next one, implementing the plan. This step is considered with transforming the plan into action. The plan must be communicated to the employees in detail. This, in turn, will help to ensure cooperation from the useful suggestions from employees must be considered, and they should be motivated to execute the plan to the fullest of their abilities. The plan has to effectively implemented by the real executors. This step would also involve organizing labors and purchasing machineries. For example, ABC Limited start hiring more salesmen in the company to contact and connect with more MNCs. The company will start creating more interesting advertisement on the online platform. This may establish more service workshops in various cities. The last one, follow up action. After implementing the plan, the last step is to periodically review the existing plan to ensure that the plan is effective or not. The plan must be consistently monitored, watching in each case of fan definitely. It should be modified and adjusted. For example, a proper feedback machine mechanism was developed by ABC Limited so that they can be take all the complaints and reviews from their customers and provide a better service experience. Better service experience. Actually, customers' response, revenue collections, employee response, etc. These are all the very important for the companies. The next step, key takeaway. Effective planning of a continuous cycle of setting goals, preparing for the future, making informed choice, executing and adapting. Planning a dynamic and iterative process. Planning a dynamic and iterative process. Clear objective for the foundation of successful plan. So everybody must know the objective for the foundation of the successful plan. The last one, adaptability and continuously monitoring or curiously for success. So the main formula is adaptability and continuously monitoring, the crucial for success. So dear students, if you have any doubt, if you have any queries, just post in the comments. Thank you. Bye bye.